All right, well, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining HousingWire's first mortgage demo day of 2021. I hope you had a restful holiday break. Today, we're going to hear from 6 different business intelligence companies, and we'll also have a special interview with 2020 HousingWire tech trendsetter Dan Catanella. We'll also have 2 AirPod giveaways today, one halfway through the demos and the other at the end of the event. Please pay close attention to all the demos because our trivia questions could be pulled from any of the presentations. Now let's kick things off with David Karandish, CEO of Capacity. Capacity is a mortgage automation platform powered by AI that empowers mortgage professionals with instant knowledge and automated workflows. Thanks to 24/7 service, clients receive a superior experience throughout the entire loan process. Capacity connects apps, mines documents, captures tacit knowledge, and automates processes through a mobile-friendly chat interface. David, are you on the line?
I'm ready.
All right.
Here, it's 2021. Let's go.
Let's do it. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you all for taking the time out for this first mortgage demo day. As mentioned, I'm David Karandish, CEO and co-founder here at Capacity. Given we got 10 minutes, I'm going to just share my screen and let's just go ahead and jump right in. So as it was mentioned, Capacity is here to automate the support for your mortgage processes. And the way we start out is by taking all the questions that you have either internally from your team or externally from your consumers and automating as much of that as possible. So I can go to the Capacity bot and I could say hi. And it'll come back and say hello. It's generally very friendly most of the time. Or I could go to Capacity and I could say hi, and it'll say you just said that. So it's got some conversational history. It's got some short-term memory built in. Now, if I asked a question like, what loans are closing this month? Capacity will go connect to my LOS, log in as me, and come back and give me an instant response with all the loans that are closing. Again, just simple, straightforward, frictionless access to the information you need. Or if I asked a question like, show the Johnson loan, Capacity again will go search in your LOS for that particular loan, come back to me instantly with any of the information, rate lock status, etc. Now, the way that we've designed the platform, you can ask questions on a wide variety of topics. So you could ask a question about, say, your GSE guides. So if I wanted to know what are USDA income limits, I can ask that question. Capacity will go into those guides, take you directly to the section of the guides themselves. And then when we get into our console demo, I'll actually show you where we'll take you to the page in just a moment. In addition to this, you can ask questions about your internal workings of your team. So if you wanted to know, say, what would be a good question? Let's say I wanted to know how many vacation days do I have? Capacity will go log into my HR system and come back to me and say, I got 2 weeks left. Now, I just started the new year, so I'm actually not quite ready for PTO yet, but you get the basic idea. 2 more things I want to show on the internal example. Capacity can connect to your proprietary services. So things like, if I wanted to know who is the primary contact for West Community, Capacity will go log into your CRM. It can ask you, are you looking for an opportunity or an account? We'll go select opportunity. And now it will go find all the opportunities that match West Community Credit Union. And when I click on that one, it will now come back to me with the data from the CRM on Jason's contact info. Again, just simple, straightforward, and frictionless. And in fact, if I wanted to forward this off to Jeremy on my team, I could say, forward that to Jeremy. And Capacity is smart enough to know that that refers to the previous message and send that off to Jeremy so he can connect directly with Jason. Now, not only can you put Capacity on your internal intranet or messaging platforms like Microsoft Teams and Slack, you can also put Capacity on your customer-facing website, consumer-facing website. Here's an example at Planet Home Lending. You guys can check this out at home. So I could be on the website and start asking a question like, What are the options for those affected by COVID-19? You'll notice here, as I start typing, we actually did that autocomplete, so we can direct you toward the questions that Capacity knows how to answer. You can go full screen, show all the information on the forbearance plans, et cetera. Another example here we have on Home Funded, which is kind of designed toward first-time home buyers. I could go ask a question again. Oh, what am I going to ask today? I'll ask, when is mortgage insurance required? And again, it just comes back to me instantly with the response without having to go log into any of these key systems. Now, the Capacity knowledge base is designed to where we make it really easy to manage the knowledge of your org. So you think of it almost like a kind of a directory foldering system. I was here clicking around on HR questions earlier today. So if I wanted to know something like, oh, I want to know about the parental leave policy, you'll notice here, in addition to the Q&A we match to, we can also link you directly to page 34 of our internal handbook and policies. And so it'll take just a second to load here. What you're going to see is that instead of having to search through all the docs, instead of having to wade through all the different files, it took me right to the page I was looking for the parental leave policy. And the beauty of the way that we design this is that you didn't have to tell Capacity to go through and search these docs. You just upload it in the system and it's able to go. Now, in addition to this, we've got clients like PRMG that are taking their entire regulatory guides and putting them into Capacity. So if you want to know a question like, what are allowable origination channels for fixed and ARMs, or you want to know, what's the minimum loan amount for agency LP fixed and ARMs, you can put all of these questions into the knowledge base, make them instantly accessible for your LOs. Now, one of the things that we love about the way we've designed Capacity is that it is built to be extensible. So we can connect Capacity to any of your third-party apps. We've got integrations with things like Total Expert and Encompass, and then third-party apps like Microsoft Office or Freshdesk or even the Salesforce suite. We can connect your company's applications directly to Capacity and capacitize any app that has a RESTful interface. Now, one of the things that we kept running into is that companies have information sitting in proprietary databases. Like, David, I don't have an API for that. So we built what we call LiveDB, where you can put a little wrapper in front of your proprietary database and turn Capacity into a question generating machine on your proprietary data. In addition to the questions and answers out, we can also build what's called a guided conversation. With a guided conversation, Capacity can take you down a different path depending on what you select. So in this particular example, somebody was asking about the requirements for condos. We'll go to a different response if you're looking for agency fixed versus if you're looking for FHLMC in terms of which particular path of information you're looking for. The beauty of this is you can think of this almost like a survey platform. So if you go in to edit the conversation, you can add live chat capability, you can add collecting information, rating scales, sending emails, starting workflows, etc. Speaking of workflows, last two things I want to cover here today before we get to the Q&A is that we are now taking documents and treating your and semi-structured documents like a database. So I'm going to quickly pick on my buddy Bob here, and we have changed the names and the values here for the demo. But this is Bob's escrow statement through Wells. What we are doing is we are working with a large mortgage call center to go in and automatically extract the content out of this document, turn it into a database, as you can see here, with all the different fields that would be relevant. And then if I go click into my workflow, I can see all the steps to automate that process. Launching a message out, mining the document. And if I go into the instance itself, we can see all of the steps that were completed in this particular workflow. And as I click around here, we can see we pulled out all of Bob's information, his loan amount, his client address, etc. So if you want to automate the processes of taking your documents and treating them like a database, so you can remove that stare and compare function of your org, come to us, talk with us. We can build you a workflow for it. Last thing I just want to mention from a workflow perspective, if I go back to my builder, we have the ability to take just about any process you have and automate it. Anything from onboarding to client support to helping you with some of the regulatory processes to comparing your different documents. And because of the work that we did on our developer platform, in addition to your broadcasts, your document mining, your tickets, and your sub workflows, we can take any application that we built the Dev Platform connector to, and we can go embed those in your workflows. Finally, last thing here, we can take any process that can't be automated, whether it's from a question that couldn't be automated or a particular task that couldn't be automated, and we can drop those directly in our Capacity Help Desk. In the Capacity Help Desk, you can think of it like a typical Kanban where you can drag and drop and move tickets through the various stages of your process and flow. And then we want to make it as easy as possible to reduce your tickets. But if you have to create a ticket, we want to make it as easy to manage as well. So with that, just to recap, we've got capacity. We're here to answer as many questions as we can. We've got an 84% match rate across the board. We've got our bot connecting to your apps, to your documents, to your internal knowledge. We've got our guided conversations to help you work through those questions you have along the way. And then we've got our workflows and document mining to help reduce the time it takes to process a loan.
Thanks, David. A quick reminder that you can ask David in Capacity a question by clicking on the Q&A button on the bottom of your Zoom screen. The Capacity team has also placed a demo request link if you want even more detail and information in the chat box, and you can get to the chat box again at the bottom of your Zoom screen. We've had several questions come in, David, so I'd love to just kick those off.
Make it happen.
Yeah, so the first one is talk about integrations with LOSs like Encompass.
Yeah, so the beauty of the way that we've designed the system is that we have an out-of-the-box Encompass integration. And with that out-of-the-box Encompass integration, you can get all the key features that you'd expect in terms of looking up loans, pulling information, and pushing information back into the Encompass system. If you want to extend our Encompass integration through our developer platform, you can add additional features as well. And the same pattern is being used for multiple LOSs.
And you showed a help desk as part of your demo. Does that integrate with platforms like Jira?
Yeah, so the beauty of it is that you can get our help desk out of the box as part of the capacity deployment, or we can integrate with Jira via our developer platform. So you like Jira and you want to keep using Jira, we will play well in the sandbox, play nicely in the sandbox with folks like Jira or Freshdesk. But if you're like, hey, why am I paying for help desk twice? I want it fully integrated with the rest of my support automation. You can use our help desk out of the box.
Nice, and the questions are rolling in. So are there out of the box questions or Q&A templates that you have, or do all those need to be generated by the client?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of the way that the system works. We have so many mortgage clients that when you start out, we can get you a list or a pre-packaged content pack of the questions that are most likely to come up across your guides, across first-time homebuyer stuff. So you don't have to start from scratch. That's the beauty of having rolled this out for dozens of clients.
Nice. And talk about deployment. How quickly can you be deployed? What does the onboarding process look like?
So if you sign with Capacity today, we will get the bot in your hands in 30 days or less. Now, typically what that deployment looks like is we'll end up figuring out, is it an internal or customer-facing deploy? If it's internal, we'll typically plug it into one of your messaging platforms. If it's external, we'll put one line of JavaScript on your consumer-facing website. In terms of loading up the knowledge base, we've got those pre-packaged content packs that we can turn on for you for things like the guidelines. And then if you want to upload your frequently asked questions, you can get those to us and we can get those loaded in pretty quickly. From a training perspective, we typically do 2 to 3 training sessions where we have a representative set of your team ask as many questions to Capacity as possible. Those training sessions help us learn the specifics and the nuances of your org. And they also help Capacity just get better in terms of understanding the key points that you have within your processes. Like I said, we have about an 84% match rate across all of our clients today, and that's continuing to improve as we go along.
Well, this has been great. The engagement is off the charts for this so far. I appreciate you taking the time to do the demo today. If folks have other questions, I see others rolling in, definitely sign up for a demo for more detailed information in the chat box. We've launched a poll. If you would like to get more information from Capacity, please select yes.
Thank you all for taking the time out. We would love to hear from you. And I'm sure that in 2021, we can help you automate your mortgage processes.
Thanks so much, David. Have a good one.
Hey, take care. Thanks, Diego.
Okay.